Hey guys, just wanted to give you kind of a behind the scenes look at some of the different tools I carry as a rehabber that help me in the field with a lot of the wildlife rescue and making sure that our patients are safe and getting the best care possible. Alright, so I'm just going to move through these items kind of one by one, give you a walkthrough of them. Again, this is just a behind the scenes look at what I carry in my vehicle to help me out with my job. This is in no way a DIY video. If you are not a licensed rehabilitator, leave the animal care, leave the rescue up to the professionals. There is some stuff you guys can do, and I'll kind of walk you through that as we go. So I'll start just right up here in front with the gloves. So unfortunately, getting bit is kind of part of the job. You just have to make sure you know how to do it safely. So different glove sizes, different thicknesses for the different animals that you're going to encounter. These are really only good for about rodent size. I would use them on. Maybe these guys for the squirrels, only because the fingers are so fat, and when my fingers are in there, it gives a lot of space on the sides there, and that's purposeful so that when the squirrel comes in to bite my finger, their mouth is so little they can't get past this little flap here, so they're not even biting down on your finger. So that's important there. I always use them, mammals especially. You can also use them on the birds if you want, especially the mergansers and stuff with the serrated bills. So these screwdrivers are next, and they are just to kind of symbolize that we use a lot of just basic hand tools, crowbars, hammers, screwdrivers, getting animals out of little different places, air conditioning units, get them out of cars if they're stuck in people's hoods, or maybe they let them out inside their car. The hand tools are up there as far as some of the most useful tools that we have. Another PPE item here is the safety glasses. So these are useful with animals that can typically stab at you. So herons, gulls, cormorants, some mergansers, grebes, stuff like that. Just as an extra layer of protection. Typically you should never be having to put your face that close to the animal as is, especially if you don't have a second person there to restrain and kind of hold the mouth or whatever that you're doing. But they do come in handy, as well as kind of what I was talking about, those hand tools and power tools. If I'm using drills and saws and stuff getting animals out, I'll always throw those on as well. Alright, next item here is the snake hook and the snake tongs. These are used exclusively on the snakes, and really only the rattlesnakes up here is what I use them on. And that's because that's the only venomous animal I have. And so when I'm pulling them out of window wells or garages, or maybe just moving them off a trail, I can pick them up and then keep them at that 3-foot distance, which is a safe distance to be. They can't strike me. Typically, kind of a good rule to follow is they can strike about a third of their body length, maybe a little bit more. So keeping them away. But other than the rattlesnakes, everybody else I just handle with my hands. They're not going to hurt, really. The teeth are so small that if they bite me, they can bite me if they want. So, and the snake hook here, I found that the snake hook is pretty much used exclusively as just a control device. After I have the snake already in my hand, I can keep the back half over here and keep that front half through here, and then kind of control them, and just moving short distances or moving them into the snake bucket here that we'll go over in a second. So, but good to have, always good to have. All right, our next pieces here are super easy and cheap. It's just a regular old sheet and then a hoodie, an old hoodie. And so these are useful really for catching a lot of different animals, especially when it comes to the waterfowl, the pelicans, geese, ducks, the animals that can run, because you can just kind of run up behind them and throw it over them and then get control real quick, and then kind of move them into your transport container. If I have a goose and I just wrapped it up, I can put it into the crate, and then I automatically have lining in that cage as well. So it's kind of a twofold double-edged sword there. Jackets, same exact thing with the jackets. I just typically use these more in the winter time, just as, especially if I'm transporting out of the mountains or maybe from like eastern Will County. just because I want to keep them a little bit more insulated. Even as I'm blasting my heater and putting hand warmers and whatever else on them, I want to, give them all the warmth I can. All right, next item here today is going to be the catch pole. And so you see these typically in a lot of movies with animal control officers using them and stuff. I use them pretty rarely. It's really only the adult raccoons, the adult coyotes and foxes, not even foxes really, just the bigger adults. And it just helps me get a little control. And then kind of the same thing as the snake tongs is I can put this over the animal and cinch it up just a little bit and then kind of walk them over to the crate or whatever transport container I'm using. So it doesn't have to be violent. And I said that this wasn't a DIY video, and it's certainly not. But I do see a lot of people using these wrong. So if you are an animal professional and have the right to use one of these, make sure you put the head and one of the legs in, so you're not just putting a noose on the animal. You want to kind of, get it up there so you don't want to hurt them. Restraint is not meant to be comfortable, but by no means should it be injuring or causing pain to the animal either. So make sure you're using this correctly. If you have to use it at all, it rarely comes out of the trunk of my car. So, all right, the next item I want to go over is just some rope. This is just climbing rope, but I typically use it for some water rescue stuff, helping to get maybe control a kayak or something going across stream. It also is helpful for reuniting baby birds in high nests, because if it's the right situation, I can kind of rig a pulley system up and pull up supplies or pull up the baby or whatever after I've kind of secured the top, secured where the nest is, and gotten myself up there. So again, not super common, but I do carry it. It has come in use enough times to carry it. Next item here is actually going to be a net. I'm going to take this protective sheath off, and you kind of just unroll it. I just got this net last year, and I'm really enjoying it. It kind of works similar to the catch pole, where it has this drawstring kind of technique, but you can get it down and then just kind of scoop your animal up and then can close it real quick and get control. You can even wrap it around a couple times, really secure that. But the really nice thing is I've used this on getting animals out of dumpsters or chimneys, stuff like that, window wells. And it has a zipper at the bottom, so you get it in, you lift your animal, your raccoon or whatever, out of the window well, and then there's a zipper, and I can just release it right there. So super nice, super convenient, super great to have, very durable. So, and the nets are used on just about everything except for the reptiles and amphibians. I use them on a lot of the birds and a lot of the mammals especially. All right, the next item here is just my rescue kit. There's not a ton in it besides just some basic medical equipment here. I also do have some wire clippers. I have bolt cutters and stuff in the bottom here, just to help remove any fishing line, maybe kite string, fishing hooks, stuff like that. So otherwise, this is just a medical kit. Just kind of helps me stabilize the animal as I'm preparing them for transport, if it's needed. A lot of times they just need to go in a nice quiet box. All right, guys, now I'm going to talk about the transport containers, and these are all going to kind of be grouped together, but I wanted to pull this one out special because it is very unique and has come in handy more times than I can count. And this snake bucket here is just a 5-gallon bucket, but it does have a screw-on lid here, and then you can put a pillowcase, whatever else down there. And then when you put a rattlesnake or whatever, bull snake, whatever you're transporting, you can screw the lid back on, and then you have a nice secure transport container that he won't get out if you tip it over, or won't get bit through the pillowcase, something like that. And then the other super cool thing about this is it really helps provide for my safety, because we can use this all just with either snake hooks or snake tongs. And it was designed, the guy that designed this made it that way, so that you didn't have to get in that strike zone with that snake. So, I can put the bucket here, I can put the snake in, and then I can even get the lid on. And it's just plain and simple, super safe. So I carry this everywhere I go. I also carry a variety of different transport containers with me besides the snake bucket. Just depending on the size of the animal, the type of animal, and how injured or sick they are is going to kind of depend on what I use it for. So This one obviously is going to be your squirrels, your raccoons, some of your raccoons I should say, your ducks and stuff like that. You'll need a bigger crate for the bigger animals, coyotes, big raccoons, the herons and elk and stuff like that. Obviously I'm not putting in anything like this, but this is here. I also have these for, you know, mice and different small rodents. These come in very handy for the babies, whether it's mammals or birds. So I carry a knitted nest in here made out of fleece, and then I can put them in here and it just it stays upright easily. I can kind of control it depending on what kind of natural history I'm trying to mimic. And then I also just carry a shoebox here and a plastic kind of container that I put some screening on for air holes. And these are two things that you guys can certainly get just at, you know, Walmart or Home Depot. And you know, if you find an injured animal or a sick animal and you're able to transport it, it's safe for you to do so. You feel comfortable doing so. You know, just throw it in here. You know, the shoebox is perfect because you can put a towel down in there, and then it's a nice, quiet, dark box, nice sheltered space for that animal to kind of get out of that shock, just relax. You can put it away from family and friends and pets and everything like that. Until you can get it to a rehab center. So these two are great for your everyday kind of finds, you know, your baby squirrels, your baby birds, stuff like that. So, but always just check with the rehabilitator to make sure that the animal actually needs care before you start catching animals. Just because a lot of them don't. You know, we don't need to be kidnapping animals or taking them from the wild. That's not what they want. That's not what we want to do. We're here to help save the ones that need saved. Alright guys, thanks for watching today. Hope you enjoyed the behind the scenes look at some of the equipment I carry to help me with my field rescues. Remember, we are always here for you, so if you do find a sick, injured, or orphan animal, please reach out. We can help figure out if it does need help, and if it does, where to take it.